Hey, disciple makers. Hope you guys are having a great week here. Prayer and fasting happening, and I heard a lot of people had a great time. Sounds like with the bookstore run this last week. But I'm here in a country right now that has, in the entire country, only 50 believers, and we've been talking just about how important it is to share the gospel and to minister. But they're finding through all of the different approaches and methodologies and strategies that people have been using in this part of the world for the last 200 years, how they're finding just how important just relationally ministering the gospel is. But you know, when these guys are ministering the gospel, they're not just trying to be buddies and trying to hang out, but when they're together, they're pursuing the authentic gospel in those friendships. They're pushing the kingdom of God in those relationships. And sometimes it just starts with having an affinity for basketball or from connecting with people in their schools or different things like that. But that idea, sometimes we say pursue intensely, but come across casually, which is not to say like just let it happen naturally. Otherwise, oftentimes the things that are natural to us are rarely the things of kingdom and of God. But if we pursue intensely and come across relationally, saying like, yeah, let's let our friendship start with friendship or curiosity about this or that. You know, here in America, they're curious about Americans. But through that, the fight for brotherhood, for sisterhood, for those kingdom relationships. And so they're finding that as they pursue people relationally and push for that kingdom experience, for them to encounter Jesus in their friendships and interactions, as they push the kingdom of God in their lives, into the lives of their friends, that things happen and powerful conversations and powerful things are happening. That's actually a generation of young people, or of people here in the country, just 50, but they're being taught and trained and raised up to be disciple makers in their own country, to their own people. And they're being trained and taught, many of them through Chi Alpha alumni. Some of the best M's that they have are Chi Alpha alum who just knew how to do those things in the US, that were students like you in Chi Alpha groups like you, but now are here in the country ministering the gospel. And so as you guys are here this week, pray in prayer and fasting week, pray for the lost in this country, pray for the gospel to be preached and proclaimed, pray for workers, because they're actually talking how the biggest challenge they have is not finding people to pour into, but finding how do we pour into so many that would give us the time if we just had the time to give. But through those relationships, they have to really choose who to invest into. And so they're praying for more workers to come into countries like this, because the kingdom of God will advance as the people of God step out and see God step in and see what he wants to do. So as you guys are learning, growing in these years, remember, this is the most powerful time for you guys to learn how to be a disciple maker. And the world is waiting for disciple makers like you to come and to proclaim the truth of the gospel in a relationship, through sacrifice, through being those brothers and sisters and fighting for that brotherhood and sisterhood in other people's lives, to draw them close to you and to your God. And through that, we see the kingdom of God advance in places even like Oman here. And so pursue intensely, come across relationally, but fight for that brotherhood, fight for that sisterhood, and be praying for the unreached people groups of the world like Oman this week. Can't wait to see you guys next week. Hope you're having a great time with chili cook-off tomorrow night and everything that comes with this time of the year. But let's be people who are being the greatest relationships that some people have ever known, because we're not just about affinity, but about that thing that is core to who we are and central to our heart, our love for Jesus, and drawing them into that love for him. We'll see you next week.